Everybody, it's Doom here from Dungeons and Doom Biscuit, and I'm working on part 2. I'm calling it the Mire of Misery. It's the swamp that is south of the town Berg, and swamp trees don't look like regular trees, and they're often not full of foliage and stuff, and instead have vines and other crap, Spanish moss and stuff growing on them. So there are some willows and some swamp white oaks and stuff, and a couple types of birches, I guess, because I was looking online, that can survive and grow, but many of them, if the water's deep enough, they kind of die. So what I want to do is to try to capture that, and I wasn't really sure how to do that. So I drew a little sketch here of what I kind of want the bottoms of these to look like, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to get some pieces of skewer, maybe, oops, that one's gone forever. I'm going to save those because I use that kind of, those spikes for lots of stuff. I'm going to put those off to the side. But what I'm going to do is use pieces of skewer and these sticks, this dowel piece here, and try to make some trees. So what my plan is to get some tin foil. Do I have any tin foil? I hope I have tin foil. Yeah, I have some here. Okay. Is to get some tin foil and to create some pieces. So what I want to do is I want to kind of get these wrapped around here, and I want to twist these up and make them lumpy and dumb looking. And the reason I have the sticks in here is to give it some strength. And then I want to cut off a flattish part and kind of mash that down and mount it to the base. And then once I get several of these, I will mount them to one of these and then wrap that up and make that work. So let's start with, is my gun not hot? Yeah, there it is. Let's start with trying to just get like the basic bottom shape going. And I want to just smear that around and push that down into it. And I want to kind of aim those at the center the best I can. And I'll just make one of these on camera, and then you guys can kind of figure it out from there. Now, I don't know how this is going to turn out. This is just another one of those I had an idea kind of deals. But as I was looking at the swamp train I made earlier, I was thinking to myself, man, I just don't, none of the trees I have are working here. Yeah, I was like, well, you know, maybe we can make some. Now, I think we're going to need more than 3. I think probably 5 or 6 would be. Oops. Would be more gooder. Yeah, I think we could do 1 or 2 more. We'll make this one a little thicker. Cool. We'll make it a little thicker. And instead of cutting that off, I'm going to try to just smash that down the best I can. Okay. I'm going to pull this one off and relocate it. That's going to get rid of my nice smooth swamp surface I was going for, though. Oh, well. Okay. So once you get those in there, you can kind of let those cool in place. Then you want to get one of your bigger pieces. And I made this pretty long, and I don't know how big I want my tree to be. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to make a couple small ones to go on the top. Aside, and I'll use them as like branches and stuff. And these toothpicks should be sturdy enough for these top branches. I'm just leaving that little bit of toothpick sticking out right there. And you can do that if you wish. You don't have to. But I have a feeling it's going to be helpful. And let's make maybe 2 more of those. I'm glad I had tinfoil. I wasn't sure if I did. I can't remember what I stop and get and what I don't get, and there's like stuff up in the D&D room I needed to bring down, and stuff out in the regular basement I needed to bring out, and I just keep forgetting stuff, man. All right, we'll make 1 more of those, and then we'll make a side branch. That's a little thicker. Oh, my hands aren't working. Come on, hands. Behave for me, my hands, I call upon thee to do what I wish. And we'll make 1 side one, like I said. This will be like a bigger branch. All right, we'll set that up there. Now we need to do our main stock body part. So what I want to do is, using that bigger stick, I want to fold this into thirds, like that. And then I want to leave the end open somehow. I'm not sure how to pull that off. So I could kind of slide it over that. But I'm not sure if we can do that. So you probably could. I can't. Let's see if we can get that back open with a little bit of force. And since I can't really get that in there the way I want, I'm just going to get some glue, and then we'll come back in and we'll clean that up. We'll just give it some texture. Okay. But we're just going to use this to kind of get that going. And then we're just going to drag some of this around. And kind of all right, so we'll get our side branch here. This is our bigger kind of branch. Oops. We'll snip that off flush. And we'll come over here and find a spot and kind of move that around and get it jagged and get it held into place. And then we'll do the same thing with our top ones. But what I'm going to do with those, I was going to poke like that, poke a hole in with a tin foil and kind of pull those around some. Or not poke a hole with a tin foil, poke a hole with the piece of toothpick and get those in there. Okay, and you can kind of twist those how you want those to go. And then what I would do is I would just come up in here and kind of clean some of that up, give it a good bond to make it sturdy. Clean that up. And you can come back in here later and texture that some if you need to. Okay. That seems like it would be okay. Something like that. I'm going to let this cool for a second. We'll add some texture, and then we'll paint it. Do I have anything with paint in it? What's the color is that? Blue. We don't want blue. All right, let me see what I got here. Something black and cucky. That'll work. We'll get a little more black. Some black. Whatever that was, I hope it's not something that won't work for this. Oops, don't want that chunky piece of Mod Podge for sure. Oh, I guess we're getting that chunky piece of Mod Podge. All right, never mind. And I do want to lighten this up some. I don't want it to be pitch black, but I'm going to mix this and see what it looks like before I make a decision on how I'm going to, you know what I mean? So that's pretty dark. And I'm going to add a lighter brown in there. And a little bit of clear glue. Because I don't know if it really matters, but I feel like clear glue... Hold on, Sweens. I got to get a condom. There we go. I feel like clear glue is amazing. Like, I feel like projects I do with clear glue dry harder and firmer and sturdier. And I could be mistaken. Probably not that much clear glue. Holy crap. All right. Let's see. Something like that. There we go. That's dismal and dreary looking. It'll be a good base coat for what we're working on. I'm going to set this off to the side and get that glue gun back out and try to work some texture onto that glue I have on here, just to make sure it's not all smooth and pretty. And even if it is smooth and pretty and you make a mistake and leave it looking too nice, we can come back and we can clean that up. That's not a problem, because we can just use foliage and vines and things like that to kind of hide that, you know. Like right up here, it's going to be real smooth because I put a lot of glue in there. There we go. Just drag that gun around on there and give it some texture. Man, my nose is still plugged up. It's been like 10 months. Okay. Now, before we paint this with Mod Podge, I will tell you this. If you hit it with a little bit of clear coat Rust-Oleum matte clear enamel first, you will get a better result of getting the paint to stick. Yeah, I did not get rid of my spider webs, so this is probably flammable, I'm guessing. Oh, it's not somehow. Oh, it is a little bit flammable. It's okay. That's okay. Just want to get rid of my spider webs. There we go. Hot air gun burning. Low setting. As I'm working on this, it occurs to me that I probably should put this on something I can paint it on. So let me get a little tab of glue here. Whoop, and stick that right on there so I can hold on to that easier. So this is just one tree. I plan on making 4. And then using just other, like, foliage and stuff. I have little chunks of different shit to supplement my swamp. The reason I'm making 4, even though I might want, you know, a bunch more, is because of storage space. I get into this thing where I have an entire gaming room. Started out as a D&D room, and now it's, you know, my Tomorrow Comes Doom room or whatever. But the bottom line is this. You got to have a way to store stuff, and hanging stuff on the walls on nails is fine, but it gets dusty, and in shelves things get dusty. So like, you got to keep stuff. Like, I have a closet, it's only got so much storage shelving in it. Things get dusty in there a little bit, but not as bad. But it's just, dust is a big problem when you have too much terrain and stuff out and about. Now I'll be using this for the next couple of sessions, hopefully. So, and we're not playing this week. We played Friday, but we're not playing next Friday. My oldest son has engagements, and he really doesn't want to miss, and everybody was okay with it. So we're going to, unless we really have to play, unless, you know, the urge strikes somebody so fiercely that we just must. But as it seems, everybody seemed all right with the cancellation. We don't cancel often, so I know a lot of you struggle just to get your group together once a month. I've seen horror stories online. I've seen videos about it. I'll tell you what, man. Convince your friends and loved ones to play D&D. People that are going to be around, like your husband or wife or whatever. convince your children as they grow up to play D&D. Even when they're small, my little boys play D&D. They do have their own D&D day. They don't play with the adults, and that's for thematic reasons, But you could spray paint this with black spray paint too, or brown spray paint, or dark gray spray paint or something. Any, whatever color you wanted really, and probably get a similar result. I want the Mod Podge to give it some more strength, some sturdiness, something for the other paint to bond to when I work on it. So I'm going to do it with this, and then I'm going to come back and I'm going to hit it with black, because that's just what color I have. If I had a walnut brown, I would totally use that instead. Or if I had like a super cool dark gray spray paint, I would use that, but I don't. So yeah, this is going to turn out better than I expected. There's some weird spots where it's a little donkey and wonky. Probably having real branches would have been good, but even in my stick bag, I don't have anything like exactly of this kind of size and anything that's gnarly, and all my sticks are kind of straight and perfect. I cut them off of long bushes out of the woods and some vines out of my tree line, and even if I could dig through that pile behind me, that I'm not going to dig through no matter what, I'm not sure they'd be the best choices. So the Mire of Misery, I'm going to tell you right off the bat where that comes from. I watched The Neverending Story the other day, just because, like for nostalgia reasons. I saw it was free on YouTube. And whenever he loses his horse in the swamp because his horse gets sad, that's where I got it from. So the Mire of Misery intends to make people roll appropriate saving throws or become distressed and miserable. And if they fail enough with the saving throws, they'll start to sink into the mire and drown and die. And their friends will pull on them and tug on them and try to help them. But unless they can increase their saves in some way, they won't be able to. And swimming, there will be no swimming save against it or any kind of like might save to tug them out. No, it'll be solely based off of a magical effect caused by emotion. That'll be the kicker, and people will be mad and frustrated and trying to figure out ways to save their friends, but it'll be an emotion-based kind of thing. And of course, you're going to give them as many opportunities as they can to pass that save, and maybe every round that they fail it, make it a little bit easier to pass the next time. And the reason I say that is so that it seems like a very real threat in the moment, but you're not killing a character over it. It's just players start to feel immortal sometimes. And especially like coming off of a big campaign where they had become kind of badasses and starting over, my group tends to always forget that they're starting characters again. So a cool mechanic like that can quickly remind everybody that they can have their asses beat. I think we got that covered pretty well. All right, let's pull this up. Set that off to the side. Let's put a little hot air on it and see how it looks. As soon as I looked through the camera, I saw silver. Right up on this branch up here. Right here. That's the problem when I use this Mod Podge mix on tinfoil. I often can't see any silver I may have missed. But I did through the camera, fortunately. So anyways, you can see that there is some texture there, and we're going to be able to do something with this. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to go ahead and and I'm going to make my other trees, and then we'll come back and we'll decorate one up. So thanks for watching. Please like, subscribe, share, hit the notification bell icon and all that. Leave comments, the things that we need to do to make the YouTube work. And then come to the website and maybe buy some miniatures if you're interested, or if you can. That'd be awesome. If you can't, we understand. We're not mad. And come join us on Discord. Show us what you're working on, what you're crafting, what you're making, and see what the amazing people on Discord are doing. There's people on there making real weapons and shields, and there's people on there making miniatures and needle pointing and felting and crocheting, and just amazing, amazing artists. So please, by all means, come check that out, and we'd love to have you there. And until then, be safe.